Hello, hello, hello. Mana's stream is about to start. Do you have that same feeling? So today, we're continuing on with Vtuber Connect. Alright, let's check out Mana's stream. My eyes wash over the sea of posts about VTubers. Many of them are self-promotions by VTubers themselves on upcoming streams, and others are just memes about what might have happened in a stream this week. I think back to what I talked about with Kagurazaka today. I wonder how many of these VTubers are people that took the leap to put themselves out there so they can share what they love and express themselves. Or maybe they were just looking to make a connection with people. I'm sure there are people who are riding the wave and are just doing it for fun. And I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that. But even if you're just doing it for something as simple as having fun, there exists a connection between them and the community that isn't as simple. I'd only thought about it from the viewer's perspective, but Kagurazaka is right. VTubers also form their own unique connections with their viewers that can't be described as just a statistic. It would be nice if that's something that they could do with security and peace of mind. Talking with Kagurazaka really put things into perspective. Streaming and content creation in general isn't always going to be reliable. VTubers only recently exploded in popularity, and we have no idea if that will still be the case a few years from now. If you do that as your only source of income, then treating it as a job might change your view of your passion. And even if you're using it as a way to escape from reality, then it's not like you're safe from those feelings. I've seen plenty of VTubers struggle with growth, and once you tie in those feelings of success and failure to your passion, then you might end up tired of pursuing it. There's likely a lot more things that I don't realize about VTubing. Alright, I guess this is the first topic of the stream. It's a bit of a rehash of the previous conversation, but he's thinking about it again, so... The idea of pursuing your passion as, I guess, a job, which isn't the case for me, so I can't speak to that, but like, even just as a thing that you're doing. I mean, I'm still pretty young, I guess, so I don't think I've gotten to the point where burnout is a thing. And I only stream once a week, so I guess I'm keeping it pretty easy. Ah, my thoughts are interrupted by the start of Mana's intro. Here we go. Con Mana, it's your shining star in the night, Mana Orion. How's everybody doing tonight? Good? Alright, good, great. Bad? Well, you're in luck, because I'm here now. You'll be having a good time in my stream, and I won't be taking no for an answer. Okay, who's saying no? Show yourself. Ah, this is where everybody either tries to hide the one that said that, or they'll spam at me with a smiley face. Is that how it goes? Looks like everybody is saying me. I might have to ban all of chat at this rate. But I'm merciful, so I'll let you guys go. I'll be playing this gacha game that I recently picked up. It's called Aeon Nova. I heard a lot of good things about this game, but didn't really have the chance to play it much until the publishers contacted me for a sponsored stream. So I played it for a bit and started liking it a lot. Mostly because the character designs are so cute. Character designs being cute is like, or cute or cool, #1 thing for gacha games. Otherwise, no one would roll for them. Oh no, not another gacha game stream. How much is she going to spend this time? Guys, stop saying oh no. I'm just trying to get one of the 5 stars. Just one. That's all. And I looked up the rates beforehand. The expected amount is about 10,000 yen for this particular one. Let's see, 10,000 yen? That sounds pretty reasonable. Where have I seen this before? The last time she had a gacha game, she got incredibly unlucky with the character she wanted and had to hit the pity or amount needed to guarantee the character. Shouma just gave an explanation of what pity was. And I've heard that this particular game she's playing right now doesn't have a pity system. Oh snap, that's a predatory gacha game. I thought at this point, like, most gacha games need to have a pity system. The intro to this game is so cute! I've already played through all the tutorials and learned the basics, so I could get straight to the character pulling. I've already played through all the tutorials and learned the basics. She's done the gameplay, so now she can do not the gameplay. Because I know that's what you all are here for. It's true, people are attracted to seeing other people gamble. The chat's just spamming pull win over and over. That doesn't sound like a very polite chat, honestly. Maybe I just watch VTubers with polite chats. But I guess she kind of baited it by saying that she would be pulling. Alright, this should be where I could buy all the gems to pull. I've already loaded in 10,000 yen worth of gems to summon. Although, if it's a sponsored stream, shouldn't the publisher or whoever is sponsoring it be giving you free gems to pull with? Though that's the pattern from the ones that I've seen, but maybe that's because I watch the bigger VTubers. Either the really small ones or the really big ones. Not the in-betweens, I guess. I'm guessing Mana. Well, is Mana a mid-sized? She seems really big, honestly. Mana starts humming to herself happily as she casually exchanges all of her in-game paid currency to summoning orbs in one set of clicks. Okay, let's go! Mana changes the pitch of her voice up and down in a playful manner. I didn't do that, but that's okay. So, I'm looking for Haruka-chan. I've already done my research. Seems like she's one of the best units, as well as being the cutest out of all of these girls. Basically, what I'm saying is that we're meant to be, and if I don't get her, then I don't know what I'm going to do. I might have to take my anger out on you guys if that happens. Okay, I'm starting now. The cursor hovers over the 10 pull button, but Mana has yet to press it. Anticipation, anticipation, anticipation. It would be funny if I just stalled here. I'm sure everybody is waiting in anticipation for her to press the button and see what she gets. This is so like her to mess with everybody and just wait. I wonder if she's the type that skips the animations, or if she's the type that lets them play out fully. But if she's an experienced gacha puller, then I guess she might be the type that skips the animations because it goes faster, so that she can spend money faster. But yeah, let's see. Chat's already spamming about being edged. I bet everybody has their eyes glued to the screen and is drooling all over their keyboards in anticipation. Fine, I'll do it. Mana finally presses the button and the screen transitions into a beautiful animation of a portal appearing. The portal glows with a golden hue to indicate that she had gotten a 5-star. Nanima starts screaming in excitement at obtaining a 5-star in her first set of summons. I guess she does wait for the animation to play. Sammy, you're a skipper? That's the sign of an experienced gacha player, in my opinion. I normally let out the animations play, but I guess recently recently maybe I've been skipping. But that's like a game that I've been playing for over a year. I guess maybe it's if I've been playing a gacha game for like a short amount of time, then I'll let the animations play out. But if I've played it and I've already seen the animation a bunch of times, then maybe I'll skip it after that. Huh? Already? Weren't the chances like 2%? I can see the wave of streamer luck coming in. See guys, this is what I meant when I said Haruka-chan and I were meant to be! Stop saying pre-recorded stream. You guys are basically calling yourself chatbots. Mana skips through the lower rarity cards until she gets to the glow. Okay, so she does skip. I guess it is after all important to check out that first portal-like scene where it tells you what rarity you get. But yeah, skipping the rest, okay. Only to be met with a character distinct from the one she was aiming for. Well, that's the usual pattern, honestly. It might be 2% to get any character, but it's like 0.3% to get the character that you want. Ah, this is the wrong character! There are 2 5-stars on this particular summon, and I got the wrong one! Oh, only 2 5-stars? Okay. Then I guess it's not that bad. Oh, I just noticed. She has a pink play button? Vtube. Not YouTube, Vtube. I didn't look at her room before, but interesting. I see that she's got like the paintings, so like her interest in arts is clearly displayed here. And then some celestial planisphere to go with this like night sky motif. And here it says January as well, but it's actually summer. Anyways, that's okay. Yue-chan is also cute, and that was the only first set of summons, so that's still lucky. Let's keep going. Mana quickly burns through the remainder of her summons without any instances of a golden glow. She lets out an audible groan as she reaches the last of her summons. I went through 80 without a single 5-star! Surely this will be the one! The portal glows with a golden hue as Mana uses the last of her pulls. Mana's model jerks up and she lets out a gasp. This is the one! Mana quickly skips through the animations of the lower rarity cards until she is met with the golden animation. A familiar face pops out as Haruka once again evades being summoned. No! Why? Haruka-chan, why? The audible squeak of the chair can be heard as Mana's model falls backward until it reaches the limit of its motion range. Everybody's just spamming the Mana cry emote while others are reveling in Mana's gacha suffering. Can't say I feel any different. Shouma's really pretending to be uninvolved. Mana's frozen model indicates that the real-life person is still suckling back in her chair and hasn't entered the visual range of her motion capture. Suddenly, the squeaking of a chair can be heard as Mana's model starts moving again. You know what? That's alright. That was just the expected value. That just means I'm below average in terms of luck. That happens. You know what they say about the sunk cost truth? Can't let that money I just spent go to waste. As in, the opposite of what you just said? I'm pretty sure it's called the sunk cost fallacy. Let me turn the display off so I can charge more gems. The game display turns black as the sounds of a plastic card can be heard being dropped on a table. Mana starts humming to herself happily as if to point out the irony of the large amounts of money that can be dropped so casually on gacha games. The game display returns right where it had been when it had disconnected. Haruka-chan will be mine! Minutes pass as the summons are quickly used in succession without any sightings of a gold portal. Mana doesn't say anything, but every 10 pull that is used without a 5-star, Mana closes her eyes and tilts her head upwards slowly and silently to reflect her agony. Pain! That's the only word that's come from Mana in the past 50 summons. As she uses her second to last 10 pull without avail, she gives her more exaggerated, silent display of pain yet. Last 10 pull. That's okay. I still got another 10. Surely this will be the one. You can make it through, Mana. This is painful to watch, but it's also so funny to see her exaggerated reactions. It looks like the life got sucked out of her. Reminds me of Kagurazaka. A golden portal appears as Mana widens her eyes and leans forward. This is it! This is the one! The sounds of Mana mashing her screen could be heard as she quickly skips through the animations. On her 9th summon, she is met again with a familiar face. No! Mana once again sinks backwards as the familiar image of the character, Yue, populates the screen. I wonder if this game has, like, a feature where you can combine duplicates. Haruka-chan! Why? Waves of emotion and the word pain surge through the chat window. I guess it wasn't meant to be. Maybe we were just... Mana transitions to the next screen while talking. A golden glow appears with a new image. Ah! Haruka-chan! Mana rapidly starts clapping and drumming on the desk to express her excitement without damaging anything. Without damaging anything very important. Ah, you did love me after all! Come here! Mwah mwah! The sounds of kissing that are uncomfortably close to a microphone can be heard through the stream. I chuckle at how Mana has made this pulling session out to be some sort of emotional journey for her. You really did come home after all! Time to drop every resource I have into her. Mana deftly navigates through the array of menu options to reach the section to grow characters. And since she just started this game, that would be her first, like, fully grown character, I guess? There we go, and this too. She seems awfully confident for, like, someone who's only just started playing. There's something I wanted to mention since I've been seeing it come up when I was looking this game up. Please don't whale shame. People value things differently and could have no problem spending monies on something they enjoy because they think it's worth it. If someone consciously decides it's worth it to spend X amount of money for a Y% chance to get something they want, and if they're not compromising other things that they might value more, then that's completely fine. Don't shame them because they decided to spend a bunch of money on just a video game or anything similar. And Mana's saying this about herself, I'm guessing. That's just being insensitive to our subjective experiences. It's okay to spend money on things we enjoy. I'm not trying to promote gacha addiction this stream through my own spending. I thought this was worth it for me to do as content for my own enjoyment. Even if I didn't get what I want, I wouldn't have regretted it because I consciously decided it was worth it to spend this money on a chance to get what I want. Of course, people can get addicted and end up spending money that they otherwise think is better used on other things, but they can't stop themselves. But we can't know for sure until we get a bigger picture. I don't see it in this community, really, but I see it a lot elsewhere on the internet. Let's all try to be more mindful of others' experiences and values, okay? This feels like something that might be said... I don't know. It's very specific. There. That was sudden, but not completely out of nowhere. I see it as well on the internet all the time. I mean, I can see that sort of comment or topic being brought up if, like, someone super chatted it, and then she was responding to it. It's not just gacha games, but it applies to a lot of other hobbies. I think most people would scoff at the amount of money I spend on merchandise and donating. But it's what I enjoy. It's what I enjoy. I don't regret it. Okay, all done. Let's use her in submissions now. I wonder how long she took pulling. Because I've seen gacha streams go for like hours and it's just pulling. Which, now that I think about it, that's pretty crazy. But, yeah, I guess she's gonna continue from gacha to gameplay. After navigating through the menu options for the mission screen, the screen is soon filled with tiled spaces to reveal a turn-based grid system. Mana effortlessly starts placing units on the board with intent. Hasn't she only started recently? I guess she's always been good at grasping game concepts. I quickly glance over at the chat window to see that people are already trying to backseat her by telling her to use other units. Guys, I've told you this before. It's much more productive to frame your views in a way that's constructive rather than trying to tell someone what they're doing is wrong. Instead of saying that unit is bad, place that other one. You can say something like, I think this unit is not optimal for this level because it specializes in long range while the map design is more compact as well as having less synergy with my other units. I'm not sure if that's the correct advice to give. I mean, maybe in real life that might be more useful, but I feel like asking your chat to write like a paragraph isn't as constructive either. Well, I guess this is her way of dealing with her chat. That way, we're understanding why something might not be optimal instead of pushing views onto each other without any reasoning. Though to be honest, well, I'm like, isn't that still backseating? It's just backseating with more words. As always, Mana surprises me at how adept she is at handling issues. I guess that's why she's a top VTuber. Always composed and strong-minded, without being too pushy when she should be. Mana manages to clear the levels with relative ease while regularly interacting with chat. This continues on for about an hour and a half. That should be enough for the content that I can do right now without refilling on energy. Mana, isn't that a bit too on the head? I think I'll move on to reading super chats and just hang out for a bit. Okay, first off is Mana fan number 211-san. I love this game, so I'm glad you got it sponsored. I'm looking forward to how you play. Ah, thank you! I hope you enjoyed it! I know there's a lot of different approaches to reading donation messages, especially depending on the streaming platform. But I'm surprised someone as big as Mana still reads out every single super chat. It honestly seems like a ton of work, and I can see why VTubers wouldn't depending on their approach. But it really does help the community feel closer with her. The super chat reading continues on with Mana being able to provide active responses to any questions or inquiries that were thrown at her. Next we have Johnson2427-san. Mana, I wanted to send a super chat to tell you how much your streams meant to me. I'm going through a really rough time and you have been a light that shines through the darkness. You've saved me. I don't think I would still be around if it weren't for you. So thank you. Oh boy, it's one of those messages. I mean, I can understand where he's coming from. He probably thinks that they might be flattered in a way for being such an important part of his life, or that his feelings are so strong that he can't contain it. But nobody wants to have to take that burden of being the only hope for someone. It's just too overbearing. Johnson-san, I'm really glad my streams could be a place of solace for you. But that little bit of light is the only thing that I can really provide. The only person that can save you is yourself. I don't have the power to save anybody. Heck, I don't even think I have the power to save myself. I really do hope you find the strength to turn things around. Huh? What did she mean by that? Chat's just as confused as I am. I don't think it was that confusing. I thought chat would be more like, good luck, what was his name? Haha, Johnson-san? Good luck, Johnson-san. I hope you become happy. But instead they're just confused. Okay. Don't worry worry about it, guys. I'm here to try and spread smiles as best as I can by sharing the things I love. You never know what anybody behind the screen might be going through. But I wish for this to continue being a place that everybody can come to for comfort through whatever tough times you might be going through. That's just like Mana to say. She continues to be a pillar of support for so many people. That strength is what makes so many people look up to her. It's also what made Johnson's son send that super chat, I'm guessing. But I'm still wondering what she meant when she said that she doesn't have the power to save herself. Alright, next up is... Mana continues reading through the super chats for about an hour until she was finished with the last one. I think that's the last one. I think I'm gonna call it for tonight. This was a fun stream, but I gotta get some things ready for some stuff tomorrow. Don't forget about my anniversary coming up! Oyasu Mana! Bye bye! Whew, and then that's Mana's stream. Oh hey! At nighttime, doesn't this room look a lot like my overlay room here? It matches! This greenish color. You can only save yourself, huh? I don't know if that's entirely true to my experience. I'm not a strong person. I wasn't able to save myself. I had to turn to VTubers for comfort. There's no way that Mana could feel as powerless as I do. I mean, look at how much influence she has and how many people love her. How could she be someone who isn't strong enough to save herself? In the back of my mind, I knew what it was that I was suddenly wishing for. So, there's no way I could ever be someone who could save someone like Mana. That's just conceited and self-righteous. These are the kinds of thoughts I wish I wouldn't have. Why am I such a hypocrite, wanting to be someone that can save others when I have nothing to offer? My thoughts are interrupted by the notification sound on my phone. Well, my personal thoughts about this. If thoughts remain thoughts, then they're fine. And as long as you can recognize them as, like, you know, just flights of fancy, I think that's fine too. Like, don't become completely delusional and think, ah yes, I'm gonna save Mana, but I feel like it's a nice human element to have, to be able to want to save someone and think, I want to be someone who can become someone. You know, that desire to become someone can be the impetus for a change, right? Because then you have a goal. In this case, like Shouma, who wants to save Mana but is also holding himself back from that. He's kind of concluded to himself, like, you know, I can't be that kind of person, but I guess rather than I can't become that kind of person, it's like, I'm not that kind of person, but I would like to become that kind of person. Not necessarily the person specifically who's gonna save Mana, but the kind of person who could. I think that sort of direction is a nice way to look at things. But anyways, let's see what this notification is. Oh yeah, forgot that Kagurazaka would message me. Didn't miss me too much, did you? No. Harsh. Is tomorrow at 2 p.m. fine with you? Yeah, that's okay. There's a classroom, room 402, in the economics building in the west wing of campus at Numazu that nobody ever checks. I usually hang out there by myself when I want a place to sit down and think. Makoto is very quickly giving up secret locations. The doors should still be open for summer courses, but most people should be gone for break. That okay with you? Yeah. Alright. Don't forget the manga volumes, or you'll regret it. Okay. You alright? I realize I've been letting my mood show over text. Such a stupid mistake. Now I've got Kagurazaka worrying about someone like me. Oh, sorry. Nothing happened. I guess this shows how little I text. How dumb of me. There's no response back. I sat in my chair, staring at my phone for a good minute. Suddenly, my phone starts ringing. It's Kagurazaka. Eh? Phone call is interesting in this day and age. I paused for a second to process what was happening. After realizing what was happening, I quickly answered the call so as not to make her wait. Kagurazaka? Hey. What's up? Is there a reason you called? Oh, I just wanted to confirm something for tomorrow and figured it was easier to call. Sure, what is it? Well, first I wanted to ask, how was Mana's stream? Well, it was great as always. She's as kind, funny, and strong as she always is. I see. There was nothing you found disappointing? Disappointing? Like what? I don't know. Anything, I guess? Not really. It's hard to imagine that I would end up being disappointed with her stream. I see. So, it wasn't my fault. What do you mean? Nothing. So, what's been going on with you? Besides the stream? I immediately recall the thoughts I was having before being messaged by Kagurazaka. There's no way I'm gonna burden Kagurazaka with something as insignificant as that. My problems are not worth her concern or time. Nothing much. I was just feeling tired. I mean, for both of them, they just went back home after talking with each other. And from Makoto's side, she just started streaming, and from Shouma's side, he just started watching the stream. So there wasn't really much that either of them could have done. Say, have you ever thought about how contradictory it is for people who are closer to rely on each other more? That doesn't really sound contradictory to me. People are going to rely on each other more if they're closer, no? I don't mean it like that. I'm talking about how people who are closer tend to rely on each other more, but by relying on them, they're also placing some of their burden onto them. Which is the last thing someone would want to do to others they care about, no? I mean, it depends on the person. Some people like to be burdened, right? Though that sounds kind of bad. Oh, that's what you meant. Yeah, that is true. But part of being close is that you don't mind as much being a burden to the people that you're close to. By getting closer, you become more inclined to do something that you wouldn't want to do to someone you care about. Like, in a general sense, people don't really want to burden random strangers with things, right? But if you become closer, then you feel a bit better with burdening someone with something, I think, is generally how it goes. Because part of, I guess, burdening someone is that you also lower the, what's that called? You lower the threshold for them to rely on you as well. So like, you know, it goes both ways. It almost seems self-damaging. So like, for example, let's say Shouma, who wants to become someone who can help or save others. The only way you can do that is by having people rely on you. Or, in their words, by having someone burden themselves on you. And the only way that someone burdens themselves on you is if you become close to them, right? Based on their conversation right now. So, saying you're being a burden on someone is kind of a negative way to look at it. Yeah, and both of these people are kind of negative in that sense. The only person I can remember burdening like that is my older sister. I care about her a lot and she's always checking up on me. But I ended up not being able to hide my emotional state too well in the past, and I ended up causing her to worry about me. Now she blames herself for not being able to help me. And I hate myself for that. Why am I telling her this? We just had a conversation about burdening others, and now I'm telling her about my problems. Technically, she was the one who asked, but I didn't have to give any details. But it's weird. I feel oddly at peace sharing this information with Kagurazaka. Well, probably because he doesn't feel like he'll be judged as strongly. Your sister sounds like a kind person. She really is. Which is honestly all the more reason that I shouldn't be wasting her time and energy with my insignificant issues. Come on, I've told you this before. Your struggles still matter to you, don't they? Yeah, I remember. But I don't think it matters whether they're significant or not. I still wouldn't want to burden her either way. I feel the same way. I've made the mistake of sharing my burdens with someone I've cared deeply about in the past. Things changed for me and I just ended up causing them pain. My very existence became a source of resentment. The sad part is that they did nothing wrong, and I don't blame them. It was just a natural feeling that came about. What hurt the most is that they still treated with me kindness and wanted to keep associating with me afterwards. I couldn't bear to continue causing them pain. Kagurazaka seemed like she wanted to continue, but stopped herself. As it is, she's told me more about herself than she's ever done in our previous conversations. And like, this whole conversation is pretty deep for people who just met. Sorry, I said too much. I didn't mean to bother you with that. That's alright. But doesn't that mean you care about me since you don't want to burden me with that? It's on the contrary, right? Heh, good one. I can't help but break a smile, despite the tone of the conversation. Say, you wouldn't consider us close, would you? Well, it's only been 2 days since we met, and we haven't really talked too much. I think so too, so... I guess what I wanted to say is, if there's anything you want to talk about, and you don't want to burden someone you're close with, I don't mind listening if it makes you feel better. I can't guarantee that I'll have any answers, though. You know, I think that may be the most unique way I've ever seen someone be thoughtful. Hey. Well, sorry for being weird. No, I'm actually really thankful. And I find it kind of refreshing. Most people I know would have just told me not to hesitate to rely on them. And I wouldn't be able to tell if they're just trying to be nice or not. Well, maybe I'm just trying to be nice when I'm not. It doesn't really seem that way to me. But thanks. The same goes for you, though. I'm open to listening to anything. Okay, get ready for my life story in 3, 2, 1. Wait, I think that's going a bit too fast. I hear Kagurazaka give an audible laugh despite her pulling the phone away from her face. Maybe you'll get my life story at a higher bond level. I don't think I want to know what bond level you're going to require of me to get that. Don't worry, there's always the pay-to-win option. Yeah, something, gacha is evil, something, Yui-chan wasn't going to wait for her banner. Looks like you already know my life story. That's how you're defining your life? I hear another series of muffled laughs coming from the other end of the line. No, but really, thanks. It's kind of weird. I wouldn't usually share anything about my past or want to burden anybody. But there was a bit of comfort in sharing that part about my past I mentioned earlier, even if it was really vague. I feel the same way. Maybe it's because we both know that we don't want to burden others. You're saying it's about that mutual understanding? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Who knows? But thanks. I'm feeling a lot better now. Oh, so you really were bothered by something? No. I'm just feeling a little less tired is all. I sure wish I could say the same about my own fatigue. Heh, you're welcome. I really didn't do anything, though. I don't even know what you're going through, and even if I did, I don't think I would have the strength to help you. That reminds me of what Mana said. That she doesn't have the strength to save anyone, even herself. Was that actually Mana saying that? What do you mean? Nothing? That was definitely something. It's getting kind of late, so let's talk some more tomorrow. I'll make sure to bring your postcard. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that. How could you possibly forget about that? Sure, thanks. Oh yeah, you called because you mentioned you wanted to confirm something for tomorrow? What was it? Oh, that. Are you fine with the agreed upon time and place? Yeah? Cool. See you tomorrow then. Wait, that's it? Yeah, something wrong? I mean, it's not that there's anything wrong. You know what? Never mind. I think I get it. I shouldn't really waste her consideration. Oh yeah, I also wanted to apologize to her. Oh, one more thing before you go. I want to apologize in case I said anything out of line before you left earlier. Oh, don't worry, you didn't say anything out of line. It's not anything wrong with you, it's just me. Oh, it's not you, it's me line. Night. Before I can say anything, I hear the sound of the call hanging up. I get up from my chair and drag myself to bed. I stare at the ceiling of my room, blankly taking in the monochromatic view. The first glance of Kagurazaka's personal experiences weighed heavy on my mind. So Kagurazaka ended up becoming a source of resentment from people she cared about, and those people still wish to associate with her despite that resentment? That doesn't sound right. Sounds like any friends she had that knew that she was Mana got resentment from her becoming so popular. And then they still wanted to associate it with her because she's so popular. Why would you want to keep associating with someone that you resent? And I wonder what happened afterwards. If Kagurazaka thought she was causing them pain just by existing, then what would she do? I don't really want to think about that. If she felt like her actions caused pain to the people that she cared about, then I can't imagine that feeling too great for her either. I wonder if she hates herself because of it. Every glimpse I get into Kagurazaka's thoughts, the more confused I get. Let's just go to sleep for tomorrow. And there's the scene change card. This story is really just two people without friends becoming friends. Like, I never knew it was what it was like to share a burden with a friend. Yeah, me neither. I've never shared a burden with a friend because these two don't have friends. Well, I don't know whether Kagurazaka had friends in the past, but well, I guess either of them might have had friends in the past, but in any case, I guess none of them had friends while they were going through, like, tough times. And now that they are, it's like, wow, who would have thought talking about your problems with friends actually helps? That's the sense I got from that last conversation. But let's see what it's like on campus. A gentle breeze traces my face as I make my way through the familiar path to my college campus. I lift my shoulders to readjust my bag, carrying the weight of manga volumes. Carrying a bag with books to a classroom on campus, it's almost like I'm back a couple of months to when classes are active. I'm not used to seeing the campus so peaceful. Usually I would see people swarming this area to get to their next class or get back home. I can appreciate this calm, quiet ambience. I pause at the sight of the vending machine off to the side of a walkway. I guess I could get a coffee for Kagurazaka. Shouma, do you know Kagurazaka's coffee preferences? Maybe that'll bring some life to her eyes. I arrive at the door to the room that Kagurazaka specified. I don't hear anything inside. I guess with how sleep-deprived Kagurazaka always is, coffee might actually be a good choice. Not that I expected to hear anything. Kagurazaka is probably just staring out the window thinking to herself. I slide open the door and scan the contents of the room. In the center of the room is the familiar figure of Kagurazaka. If Kagurazaka is alone in a room doing nothing, she's probably... well, I don't know. I feel like it might be likely that she's thinking about content. She is sitting at a desk and has her head resting on her arms. Her eyes are closed and her body slowly moves at the rhythm of her breaths. Or sleeping, I guess. Sleeping is important. Especially for someone who doesn't sleep much. She's sleeping? Guess I am a bit early. But I wouldn't expect her to just fall asleep in a classroom before she's about to meet someone. She also doesn't seem like the type of person to want anybody to catch her sleeping. I close the door behind me and make my way over to Kagurazaka, debating on whether I should wake her up. I'm not really the type that sleeps in random places that easily. Feels like you're leaving yourself too vulnerable by sleeping in public. The outline of her face makes it clear as I walk along the side of the classroom. There was a calm innocence that's a stark contrast from her usual deadpan, cynical but playful demeanor. But there was also a faint sadness to it, an almost wistful longing. As I walk across the classroom through the desks, reflections of light start to reveal themselves near Kagurazaka's eyes. I notice the tear stains that create a trail from each of her eyes. Is she... crying? I freeze in place, unable to fully process the scene. Feelings of sorrow and uncertainty watch over me as I collect my thoughts. I'm unable to take any action other than to watch the faint glimmer of light from the teardrops at the corners of her eyes. Seeing her like this, she looks so vulnerable and fragile. Like she could just collapse at any moment. Maybe that's why I'm afraid to reach out to her, because she could give way at the slightest touch. Is she dreaming about something? Or did something happen recently? What can I do for her? I really am pathetic. Kagurazaka's in front of me, potentially going through some harsh circumstances, and here I am, having such selfish thoughts. I felt like I should do something for her, but my immediate motivation wasn't because of her. It was for my own self-satisfaction of feeling like I had worth by being someone useful. It's so disgusting, these conceited self-indulgent thoughts. As if in response to my thoughts, Kagurazaka's arms slowly start shifting to indicate that she's woken up. Huh. So, we're talking about the intention of helping people now? Whether it's actually to help people or for the self-satisfaction of helping people. I think as long as, like, in this case, if you help someone, like, really actually help someone, it doesn't really matter if, like, for which reason you help them, right? I mean, it also depends on how easy it is to help them. Like, if you expend a lot of effort to help someone because it makes you feel good about helping someone, and, like, that person is helped a lot by what you do, isn't that perfectly fine? I guess the issue is if you want to try to help someone, but, like, you make it worse, but since you feel like you've helped them, then you get the self-satisfaction, and that's not good. You have to actually help someone, I think. Her eyes clench for a brief moment and then slowly open. She slowly rises as she brings the back of her hand to her eyes, immediately noticing the moisture of the tears as she makes contact. Her calm sadness quickly transforms into panic as she turns her head and immediately notices my presence. It's hard to tell exactly what's behind her expression. Is it desperation? Or maybe even fear? Kagurazaka quickly turns her head and wipes her face on her sleeves. She then turns her head back to me. If you apologize right now, then it's not too late for forgiveness. Her remark takes me off guard because of her sudden shift in demeanor. Sorry. Normally I would have taken a jab back, but I'm still sensitive to the scene I had just witnessed. Are you worried about me? Don't be. That was nothing. I was just having an emotional dream. I dreamt that I lost the gacha from my favorite character, and it was her last banner. It was terrible. I can't bring myself to smile at her joke. Maybe it's better if I did. Maybe it's better if I just pretend that she was telling the truth, and it was all really nothing significant. But I can't bring myself to do that. Hey, I try to find the right words to say. But what can I even say? Nothing I can say will be short of conceited and self-righteous. After all, am I even doing this for her? Please don't worry about me. I really am fine. So please, don't give me that face. What about your own expression? All I'm doing is making her feel worse. This is, what drama, what drama? I really don't know what to do, but I don't want to see her plead like this. Sorry. I look away to hide my expression, not knowing if that's even preferable to looking at her. Trying to think of a way to clear the awkwardness, I remember that I bought coffee for Kagurazaka on the way. And that decision will clear the air now, right? I open my bag and hand her the can of coffee. Now, the moment of truth, does she drink coffee? Here, I bought this since I figured you would be tired. I'm always tired, but maybe tired is just comparative. If that's my default state of being, then am I really tired? Yes, by all reasonable interpretations, I would still consider you to be tired. Kagurazaka just gives me a slight smile as she grasps the can and pulls the tab to crack open the lid. She silently starts sipping, looking off to the side of the classroom. Oh yeah, here's the postcard you wanted. Kagurazaka hands me the signed postcard I've been incessantly searching for online for the past few months. The penmanship is a bit messy, an indicator that this postcard was hand-signed. It's still in mint condition, with the plastic wrap remaining undisturbed. Wait, the condition is flawless. How do you even have this? I told you, I'm a big fan. Is every big fan of Mana so critical of her? Maybe I should do that as well. Well, maybe she'd prefer it that way. I have a hard time believing that. I opened my bag to carefully place the postcard in my bag in a position that it would not possibly get damaged. So, sandwiched between, like, thick books. I pull out the manga volumes that I had stored in my bag and hand the small stack to Kagurazaka. Here. Heroes of the Sky. Most recent volumes. Oh yeah, thanks. It seems like we're mostly back to talking like normal. But there's still a lingering awkwardness in the air. It's probably best not to think about it. Kagurazaka starts flipping through the pages of the earliest volume given to her and tracks her eyes across the pages. I walk over to the window and look out at the campus. Beautiful, green canopy adorns the sides of the modern buildings. Hey, Bucky! We've, just gone through Mana's stream after they finished walking home, right? They were gonna watch a stream, watch a stream and do a stream. And now it's the next day and they met up on campus to exchange manga volumes and rare signed postcard merch. There's a calm beauty to the grounds when students aren't crowding every path. I can hear Kagurazaka occasionally giving a or interesting in between the sounds of pages being flipped. Does he know? He does not yet know. Say, who's your favorite character? I turned my head to Kagurazaka, still scanning through the pages of the volume in her hands. Well, if I had to say, it would be the antagonist, Argent. I really respect how he's able to stand true to his convictions through all of his hardships. He has the power to make them a reality and isn't afraid to take the necessary steps forward. He doesn't rely on anybody else and pushes forward with his own strength. You know he's going to lose in the end, right? Such is the cruelty of fate. He tries his best not to hurt the innocent, but his methods are misguided. That's usually the type of character that loses, but has some sort of redemption and turns around to be an ally against some greater evil. Did you just spoil the ending for me? The story isn't even over yet, and I'm just talking about theoreticals. Kagurazaka lets go of the book to let out a big laugh. What about you? Who's your favorite? Princess Claudia. She was forced to suddenly bear the weight of her entire kingdom at a young age. She was able to take such a responsibility and not collapse under the weight of the expectations of hundreds of thousands of people. Although she said she wasn't ready for it, she managed to persevere and steer the kingdom in the right direction. How strong do you have to be able to do that? You have a point. She was even younger than us when she was tasked with leading her kingdom. I think the amazing part was that she was able to do so without being sure of herself. She doubted every decision she made, but managed to stay strong. If it was someone else who was 100% sure of their decisions, then I don't think they would experience as much turmoil. Well, you never know. I'm sure confident people would have their own issues they would face. Not that I would know. You seem pretty confident about VTubers. I don't face any uncertainty there. They are a fact of life. There's plenty of uncertainty. VTubers as a concept is fairly new, and we have no idea what their futures hold. And the trajectory of being a content creator is never predictable. Also, you never know who might be part of the next big drama or controversy. You see it all the time. Someone has art copyright complications. Someone else accidentally reveals a chat log or gets a message that indicates something controversial. Another shows one part of their real life self and everybody goes crazy. I guess that's true in that sense. VTubers seem to face a lot of the same problems that other public figures do, with some of their own unique problems. In a way, the anonymity that protects them can also work against them. I assume you mean how people want to know about their personal lives because it's almost like forbidden knowledge? Yeah, VTubers try their best to hide their personal life, but that just makes people want to find out more. This also applies to like any other celebrity though too, right? Like, there's the front personality and then like the back personality. For pretty much everyone, honestly, but I guess the more famous you are, the more separate they might be, or the more you might want to keep them separate. Honestly, I can't say I haven't had those feelings come to me naturally before. I know it's wrong to try and pursue that knowledge, but it's just such a natural feeling. If you watch a VTuber who has all these great qualities, you just want to know who they actually are. Who they actually are, eh? Oh, and now we're back into the conversation of who are they? That conversation. But this time, it's Shouma that initiated it, in a way. You like to ask that a lot, don't you? Oh yeah, I guess that's sort of what we talked about when we first met. Yup. Whether that's the VTuber's real self or not. Regardless of real or not, I don't think we would necessarily be any better off knowing what a VTuber is like outside of streaming. Yup. All it would likely end up doing is satiating our curiosity. And it would be at the expense of the VTuber's privacy and feelings. Maybe that's not the side of themselves that they want to show to the public. And even if they act pretty much the same in person, I don't think anybody would want their personal information leaked. They would have to live in constant fear and anxiety that they might become the source of unwanted attention. Yeah, that even like reminds me of like history and, you know, historical figures. Haven't they also had like famous people like 100 years ago who would get physical hate mail and would have to like move countries or whatever? That kind of thing happened even way back when, for people who got too famous or infamous, I guess. Where controversies or any kind of, as is said here, unwanted attention. It does? Yeah. At least I remember learning about it in English class, especially. Because in English class you learn about a lot of authors who write, at the time, controversial works, or I guess, you know, they're kind of defining literature, which is why you read about them in English class. But when the author is still alive, that brings them attention too, right? So I feel like it's a fact that's existed for a very, very long time. Not to mention, another thing that authors have in common is that sometimes they take pseudonyms, right? They write under a pen name. And that also helps protect their anonymity. Of course, like, the publisher knows, and like, I guess there are definitely people who track pen names and like figure out, oh yeah, this person wrote this book under that pen name, but it's the same person. So there are people who will like dig that stuff out still. I would imagine VTubers already have some anxiety about that just from having their voice identified in public. Haha, voice identified in public. Here you are, Shouma, talking to your very #1 favorite Oshi VTuber, and you still haven't recognized her. Wait, does copyright protect pen name? What do you mean by that? Like, someone, oh, like, I can claim to be someone and write a book? I feel like there might be something to that. I mean, people can naturally have the same name though, so that seems a bit difficult. Like, if John Smith decides to write a book, and then 5 years later another John Smith comes around and writes a book, they both have the same name, but they're different people. Or like, you know, that first John Smith is super popular, and then the other one, if nobody wants to claim being a famous author, I mean, nobody wants to claim being a famous author? I don't know how copyright works. I mean, okay, I know that you can register them. So maybe if you're like really famous, you'll be like, alright, I'll copyright protect my name. Because... I know companies do that, like they copyright company names. So you can't have like, you can't create a company that sells drinks and call it Pepsi. I could claim being them and it would be uncontested and therefore a winner by default. maybe you could claim to be them, and then they'll sue you, and then you'll lose a lot of money. But if they don't sue you, then you'll be like completely free. I suppose you would have to target like some middle level of popular author, because then they wouldn't be able to sue you. Like, they would still be moderately popular that you could leech off, but they wouldn't be popular enough to like go after you. Although, if you use the same name and don't say anything else, maybe that's like maybe that's acceptable? Because I feel like if you say, I am XXX author who wrote famous book A, famous book B, and this is my new famous book, then that's false advertising. I feel like you can get something for that. Anyways, let's continue. Yeah, I would imagine a lot of VTubers talk on stream like they normally would. But you'd be surprised at how many of them are good at changing their voice and the way they speak. That's true. A lot of them have voice acting skills. Mana's voice acting is especially nice. Oh, you think so? You don't? I think it's okay. Harsh as ever. Of course, if compared to a professional, it won't be as good. But for a typical person, it's amazing. It just shows how much hard work she's put into it. I find it really weird that you call yourself a big fan, but you're also so critical of her. Do you secretly hate her or something? Well, isn't there sometimes the saying that, like, the biggest fans are also the biggest critics? Of course not. She's brought me to opportunities to connect to others in a way that brings me so much joy despite how terrible the world can be. The identity of Mana is who I wish to be, someone who's always beautiful, happy, and kind, that can overcome any hardship while also bringing joy to others. I didn't think she'd suddenly say something positive about Mana. Someone who's beautiful, happy, and kind, huh? Pretty sure she's referring to inner beauty. Guess I don't know her too well to say, but I don't think she's necessarily ugly inside. Not that she's lacking in physical beauty either. Minus her eyes. I guess Kagurazaka isn't exactly a happy person, but it's hard to tell because most of the time she seems to joke around a lot, and if she is sad, then she doesn't say it. Kind? I mean, she messes with me a lot and has some strong opinions, but I can tell she has a good heart. I don't think you're exactly lacking in those values. Oh, so you think I'm beautiful? Alright, I regret saying anything. Obviously you weren't talking just about physical beauty. Sorry. Thank you, really, for saying so. But I can't look at myself that way, that's all I'll say. Kagurazaka lifts back up the manga and starts reading where she left off. If I tried to push the conversation any further, then it might seem like she's trying to gain pity from me. But what you said about Mana is really surprising to hear. I honestly feel a similar way. She embodies so many values that I wish I had. The person behind her must be an amazing person. Kagurazaka doesn't say anything. She continues to keep her eyes focused on her manga, not slowing her pace. My eyes wander around the room for a minute until Kagurazaka speaks up again. By the way, I don't think I've ever asked. Why Mana, in particular? You're asking why she's my favorite? Well, aside from all the points I've made previously, I was in a pretty poor headspace for some time not too long ago. I found Mana's streams, and it got me out of a rough place. It was a place where I felt like I belonged. I also took inspiration in the values that she embodies. Oh. Kagurazaka doesn't say any more. She probably doesn't want to pry any further. wonder if that's something that I can ask you, Bucky. Why are you watching me? But, I was like, why do I watch VTubers? I mean, I knew from pretty much the very instant that I started watching that it would be something that I would keep watching, but I wonder what it was. The way, I don't know, if they feel the most real to me. Like, it's not so much the community or anything, honestly, it's just a whole world. It's a whole virtual world there, right? And there are people who exist in it, who live in it, who kind of, you know, through the past several years too, you can see how the passage of time really affects people. Maybe this is the same for streaming as well, but I exist in the virtual world, so I guess the virtual VTuber part of it is what appeals to me. Maybe if I were like 3D, then normal streamers would give that same feeling. I butchered my reasoning the first time, but I guess now it's a little less awkward. I consider you my friend. I guess... Thanks again. But like... What? Why? But you don't have to explain. But that's kind of the thought that goes through my mind. How come? Well, I'm also not able to reason why I watch VTubers. It's just that feeling of reality. The feeling that, oh, so this is what it's supposed to feel like, you know? Maybe that's it. It's, when people say that they like something, that's what it means. When people say, oh, that's exciting, that's what it means. When people look forward to something. Like, I don't know. Watching VTubers feels like a guide for how to live. It's okay. I think I'm in a better place now. So you don't have to worry. I'm glad to hear that. Kagurazaka's smile was unlike the usual sad smile she gives. This one had a genuine, tender happiness behind it. I was kind of hoping you were going to figure that out before I did. Well, yeah, my answer, I guess, still applies. It's just... Did I ever really know what it felt like to cheer someone on before watching VTubers? Did I ever know what it was like to say that, wow, that's cute, before I saw a VTuber? Did I ever think that was really cool before I saw something that a VTuber did? Watching them brings out emotions, I guess. Some, like, ones that you can't feel anywhere else. Maybe to be more specific, ones that I guess maybe they don't feel, or at least I don't feel like is allowed? Or I don't allow myself to feel them towards anything other than VTubers, maybe. Because to say that something is... To say that, like, wow, you know, this VTuber, what they did right there was very cute, right? That's something that I could never say to, like, 3D, because, well, for one, that doesn't inspire that emotion to me, but... VTubers are at that ambiguous line between 3D and 2D. when it's 3D, it feels like you impose too much to say something. Like you're imposing your emotions. On 2D, it's completely fictional. So you can say, oh wow, that was cute, but you know that it's just like a fabrication. So, yeah, that's the special thing about VTubers. They let my, at least for me, they let my emotions kind of go through more easily. But as long as I don't know what I specifically like about you, I can't replace you. Thank you. I wonder, well, I guess you don't really need to figure out what it is. But yeah, let's continue again then. Thanks. Kagurazaka returns to manga, and I turn around to gaze outside while I think to myself. After some time, Kagurazaka closes the book in her hand and places it on top of the desk in front of her. It seems like a decent amount of time has passed. I wonder what Shouma was doing. I mean, Kagurazaka has been reading manga this whole time, but Shouma is just sitting in a classroom all alone? Well, sorry, all alone. Shouma is sitting in a classroom with Kagurazaka and doing nothing? Let's see. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to finish these in one sitting. You can take them home if you'd like. Nah, that's okay. I can borrow them again at a later time. I don't think I'll have time to read again in the... I'll have time again to read in the near future anyway. Like a white raven, only to learn you saw a cockatoo. Is that a reference? It sounds very literature. Oh wait, are you saying that about something here? No? No, it's not? Okay, I don't think I understand it. I see. Kagurazaka hands me back the manga books, and I carefully place them in my bag so as not to damage the postcard. Oh yeah, I still feel like I owe you something for the postcard. Come on, don't sweat it. If anything, you're doing me a favor by taking it from me. I don't see how that makes any sense. Fine, let me think of something, just so you can have some peace of mind. Let's see. Should I have you dance like a monkey in front of me? Should I have you run around campus in your underwear? Should I ask for the secret to being happy? Hey, I think I just heard something concerning at the end of that joke. One of those is definitely something I can't fulfill. So you're saying you'll do the first two? Wait, you actually might. You've long lost your dignity. Can't lose something I never had. Oh, I think I have something. Come with me into the city tomorrow. I need your help buying something. Oh, is it the graphics card? What do you need to buy? Graphics cards. I want 2 of them, but they only let each person buy 1. Wait, isn't that what Mana experienced? I mean, I guess there are a lot of people who want graphics cards, but how many of them would want to buy 2? I guess it's a wild coincidence. But isn't going into the city with her kind of like a date? Maybe that's weird to think, considering I've already been meeting with her one-on-one in person for the past few days. Yeah, you've been going on dates all this time. First there was the park date, and then, well, I mean, I guess first there was the in front of a convenience store date, the park date, and here we are in a school date. And then, next, we're in the going city shopping date. White ravens are incredibly rare. Where there are thousands of cockatoos. What was the random hypothetical white bird? Hypothetical white bird? I'm still confused. But you saw something that you thought was rare, but it was actually not rare? Sure, but why do you need two? Because I have two PCs. Okay, why do you have two PCs? Mana has a 2 PC setup! I don't ask why you have 2 ears. Yeah, I figured you would give a response like that. I think I'll call it here for now. I'll message you the details later tonight. Yes, that? Alright, sounds good. Do you consider the convenience store a date? Not really. But that's where they first met. I think I'll stay here a bit longer, actually. You can head out first. Oh, sure. As I arrive in front of the door to exit the classroom, I look back at Kagurazaka to see her staring out the window, deep in thought. It doesn't seem like she's looking at the view of the campus, but rather looking at something farther than what I can see. It's almost like she's in her own world. I slide open the door and step outside the classroom, wondering if it would even matter if I stayed in that classroom with her. And Shouma, what were you doing inside this classroom for, I guess, the whole afternoon, because it's evening now? Anyways, I turned to the door and placed my hand on the handle to slide it closed. I managed to catch a glimpse of Kagurazaka before the door shuts. Her expression had shifted from her usual calm, pensive state. What I saw was an expression that was unmistakably that of a somber, wistful longing. Although, now that I think about it, if I was in a classroom for hours on end, I'd probably be watching VTubers. Shouma was probably just watching VTubers on his phone or something. It's not like he has any homework, because it's the summer. Kan Mana! It's your shining star in the night sky, Mana Orion! Rejoice, Mana fans, for I am here! As you can see from the stream title, it'll just be a chatting stream today. I just feel like talking about whatever comes to mind. It's just one of those days, you know? Chatting streams aren't particularly rare, but Mana sure does them less than others. I wonder what she's going to talk about. How long do I plan on streaming tonight? I don't know. Do you want me gone? Is that why you're asking? Maybe I should just end the stream right now because you asked that. Mods, ban that guy. It will probably be a short stream though. I have some stuff I have to get ready for tomorrow. Also, a reminder that there won't be any stream tomorrow if you haven't checked out my schedule. If you haven't seen my schedule, then that probably means you aren't following me on social media. Why aren't you following me on all my social media? You better follow me right now if you aren't. Anyway, there will be one karaoke stream in 2 days, and then I'll be taking a break until the anniversary stream. What did we do to be blessed with a karaoke stream? I'm so excited. What am I planning for the anniversary? Let's say that's a secret. It's more fun if it's a surprise. She could be planning something special, but most people should expect her to do standard anniversary stuff. What's standard anniversary stuff? Should I take notes? Watch my debut stream? Maybe. Though I think I would die from cringe. I was such an innocent soul when I debuted. So many things have happened since then. It's almost been a year, huh? What do you think the anniversary stream is going to be? Mana's? I feel like since I'm reading a visual novel, isn't plot gonna happen between Shouma and Kagurazaka? Her name is kind of long. Something's probably gonna happen. I wonder, anniversary stream, huh? She's been working on stuff. I mean, something with fan involvement would be interesting as well. The whole watching the debut stream though, I guess that's a cliche, but it happens often. I really do want to thank everybody for all the support up until now and into the future as well. It really does mean the world to me. I guess she got a bit melancholic thinking back on her year thus far. Maybe I should be saving this talk for my anniversary stream. Alright, no more cheesiness. You guys are gonna start crying at this rate. See, you guys are already spamming Mana cries in the chat. Come on, we should all be smiling. See, smile. Haha, happy happy. Yeah, you're very convincing with that deadpan happy impression. I feel like the game is too smart to be cliche. Well, that's why I'm kind of like, what if Shouma here, finds out who Mana is. Gasp. Before Mana's anniversary stream. And then decides to do something. Shouma, do you have any talents? I don't know. I don't think he does. He just watches VTubers. But if he had any talents, then like maybe he could like collab somehow. I know that the world can be a harsh place. I hope this can be filled with I know that the world can be a harsh place. I hope that this can be a place where you find some light if your world is filled with darkness. Ah, thank you for the super chat. He's gonna accidentally ruin it. I mean, I hope not. But if we're building up like this, and then we need a climax, he could accidentally ruin it, and then we get like the whole, whatever, what's it called after the climax? The denouement? Then we get the denouement after that? Thank you for the kind words, Mana. I've been stuck in a rut recently. Do you have any advice on how I can become as positive and strong as you? I don't know. Have you tried just being happy? Thanks, I'm cured. Why didn't I think of that? Glad I could help you guys. Here you have it, the secret to happiness revealed on Mana's stream. I don't want to create any depressing vibes, so here's the only thing I'll say. I don't really have an answer to that question, but I really do hope everyone here finds their version of true happiness. And not the kind where you're just avoiding sadness. A true happiness where you can give genuine smiles instead of finding it in yourself to smile despite whatever bad times you're going through. I have faith that a happiness like that exists somewhere out there. Finding ways to run from sadness, eh? Does that mean she hasn't found that happiness herself? Ah, you guys are making me all cheesy. Let's talk about other things, like my date with Haruka-chan yesterday. This dude has shown he is capable of nothing but otaku stuff and video games. Hey, maybe he's a speedrunner. If he plays video games. But yeah, a hard ask to try and find a good collab material from him. Mana's stream went on for about another hour, with discussions about the appreciation of glasses on characters, plenty of teasing, and super chat readings throughout. I think that should be it for today. Thanks everyone for all the subs, donations, likes, and for coming to hang out in general. My next stream will be in 2 days, with me taking a break afterwards. My anniversary stream is in exactly a week from now. Only a week to try and find my answer, huh? Answer to what? Thanks again, everybody, for both being here with me today and for all the support you've given to me thus far. You've let this selfish wish of mine grow into something greater than I could have ever imagined. It almost feels like a dream for me, one that I wish I could never end. Alright, that's enough of that. Bye bye! Oyasumana! Mana's been off lately. Sometimes she just becomes wistful all of a sudden and says something obscure. Now he's going into detective mode. Yeah. It's overthinking, but I guess that's the thing that VTuber fans do. We overthink things. But as long as we're aware that they're all just like overthinking. I don't think I can really know for sure what she's referring to. I guess there really isn't any point in worrying about it though. I'm sure even Mana has her own problems she's dealing with in her personal life. I'm interrupted by the vibration of my phone against my desk. I turn my phone over to see where the notification is from. It's a message from Kagurazaka. I wonder if this guy will also realize that he only gets messages from Kagurazaka when Mana is not streaming. It's gonna be that kind of whole... Have you ever seen Mana and Kagurazaka in the same room together? It's gonna be that kind of thing. Are you okay with meeting at the station at noon? I think that's the earliest I can get out of bed. Yeah, that's fine with me. You sure do wake up pretty late though. Okay, wait a moment. Meeting up at noon at the station is pretty early, isn't it? Like, even if you wake up at like 8 AM in the morning, you, what, eat breakfast, you know, do whatever you need to do during your day, and then you meet up with someone at noon. That's like waking up early and still doing that. But like, if it's a day where, I don't know, things are slow, you sleep in. You want to sleep in if you can sleep in, right? Like if it's a weekend or if you don't have school. If you sleep in, sleeping until 9 or 10 is perfectly normal, isn't it? And if you sleep in until 9 or 10, then, you know, waking up routine, eating breakfast, traveling to the station, noon is a perfectly reasonable time. That's not pretty late. Is that late? I don't think it's that late. Yes, it's not late. In fact, it's early. And I usually wake up earlier than that. That's just the time I get up from bed. I can kinda get that. I usually browse the internet on my phone for a bit after waking up. I see, my situation's a bit different. But anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. My situation is a bit different. Okay then, see you tomorrow. It still feels weird to be going into the city with Kagurazaka tomorrow, when just a couple of days ago I was hardly interacting with anyone else aside from VTubers. I mean, I guess in that sense, you're really available. Like, Kagurazaka wants to make plans, you're available, you don't have any other friends. There's no plans to work around. Except for VTuber streams, I guess, but coincidentally, Kagurazaka's also Mana, so you'll never have to skip a Mana stream to hang out with her. Honestly, I can't say it's been that bad these past few days. Kagurazaka's definitely weird, but she asks some interesting questions, and I don't feel like I have to put up a front with her. But it's far from ideal. I don't know how to describe it, but it feels like Kagurazaka is out of reach. Like there's too much I don't know about her. I mean, considering you've known her for less than a week, I think you're doing very well. And I feel like when it comes to concern, we have to dance around each other so as not to feel like the other is being burdened. I don't really know what the solution to that is. Isn't it conceited to think that I want to be able to show my concern and help Kagurazaka, but I don't want to burden her with my own struggles? Hey, he's learning. I mean, I guess I haven't heard many arguments on whether noon is early or late. Yeah, so we're agreed noon is early. Is the answer to just not show each other any concern? That doesn't sit well with me at all. Let's just go to sleep. I mean, just based on that line, it sounds to me like Shouma actually does have, like, you know, concern. I arrive at the station about 30 minutes prior to the agreed upon time. I mean, that's a bit early, but understandable if your travel conditions are not ideal. Sometimes you might want to arrive a bit earlier in case you get delayed. There's a light bustle of people around the station, presumably making their way to their lunchtime arrangements. And I guess if you're meeting at the station, then there are a lot of places to wait, so getting there early and then waiting on location, especially when there's nice weather, seems reasonable. I look around for any sight of a girl who looks like she could fall over from weariness at any time. Nope. Seems like Kagurazaka is still in bed. Or she might be on her way. I'll probably just wait a bit and call her once it's almost time. Yep, better to wait, because you're half an hour early, which is pretty early. As soon as I turn around to find a bench to sit at, I'm met with Kagurazaka giving me a playful smile. Okay, both of them are early. Oh, what's this? You're here early. Guess you were really excited to see me. Are you just going to ignore the fact that you're here at the same time? In fact, if you were standing behind me looking at me, you probably got here before I did. That's not because of you, it's because of my precious graphics cards. Oh? Wait, I'm less important than those graphics cards? Next thing you'll ask me is if I'm a girl or if I cry myself to sleep every night. Come on, don't be asking the obvious. I think I just heard something concerning within those layers of irony. Nothing concerning here. I assure you that I'm a girl. Now come on, let's take a seat already. We still have some time before our train arrives. Kagurazaka walks over to a nearby bench and takes a seat. I follow suit, but I'm unsure whether it's appropriate for me to just take a seat too close to her. I flawlessly calculate the distance to create between Kagurazaka and myself so as not to create an awkward situation, and then take a seat. You know how much graphic cards cost? Yeah, I kind of agree with Kagurazaka, honestly. Guy you met like less than a week ago, graphics cards, which your, I guess, job? For her, it's her job, right? Job depends on. And it's not like she's picking between his life and like the graphics cards, it's just, you know, his feelings. Why'd you sit so far away? Boy, I must be bad at math. This could also be one of her plays. I already know your tricks. You're going to say something as soon as I try to get closer to you. Am I that predictable? Yes, I might as well be reading your mind at this point. What am I thinking about then? You're thinking about how I'm going to respond to your question about what you're thinking about. No way, you can actually read my mind. We both give a good laugh at ourselves. So, didn't you say that noon was the earliest you could make it out of bed? Well, I found a little bit of extra motivation to drag myself out of bed this morning. Oh? And what was the motivation? If I'd stayed in bed any longer, I would have kept thinking about certain things that I'd rather not think about. I'm curious as to what she was thinking about, but I probably shouldn't pry. I get that. Sometimes your bed can be your best friend when you want to lay down and think about things, but sometimes I'll keep thinking about things I don't want to. Either way, you seem to be about as tired as you usually look. That's the thing, no matter how much time I spend in bed, I can never shake off my tiredness. Even on the rare occasion that I get enough sleep, I just end up feeling more tired the next day. Is it the work that you do that keeps you up? Sort of. Directly, that's part of it. Indirectly, it also plays a big part. I'll just leave it at that. Tired is my default state at this point, regardless of what I try. Might as well live with it. That's not good for you. Sleep is important. Well, hopefully today can be a sort of break for you. Yeah, I hope so too. Oh, we should probably get going now. The train's arriving soon. Okay, let's go. You know, I'm kind of worried about, her use of time, honestly. She's been going out, like, every day with this guy. But she doesn't sleep. And she streams. And her anniversary's coming up, too. She's probably busy doing stuff for that. We headed to the station and make our way past the ticket gates. After scanning our passes, we arrive at the departure zone and board the train to the city. There aren't too many people in our section of the train. I look around to see a couple of people seated, looking at their phones. It's been a while since I went into the city. I think the last time was a couple of months ago with my sister. You seem to be pretty close with your sister. So far, his sister is the only other human that this guy has ever mentioned. I'd say so. She's been looking out for me for about as long as I can remember. Even though I can't really do much for her in return. I'm sure she's not looking for anything in return while she shows her kindness. No, you're definitely right about that. I just wish I would be able to do the same for her. I sort of get that, even though I don't have any siblings. Oh? Do you like it that way, or do you wish you could have siblings? The media depictions of sibling relationships. Well, maybe not the weird ones depicted in most anime, but some of them depicted as... It's kind of hard to describe. Being able to be in a relationship where it's so natural to support and understand each other is something I'm jealous of. I wouldn't be surprised if her behavior is the norm for some other VTubers. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. But it's still not the best lifestyle. There's a unique dynamic to it that I can't see depicted anywhere else. It really is natural and special, but I wouldn't necessarily say that my sister and I fully understand each other. Of course, we grew up together, so there are some things we just pick up on. But there are a lot of things we disagree on and don't really understand about each other. Like, she doesn't really touch anything anime related, and I don't really understand her desire to interact so much in person. But I think we're okay with that. We still love each other anyway. Huh. Let's see. I'm glad that you have such a fulfilling relationship. It makes me want to steal your sister from myself. You can try. But knowing her, I'm pretty sure she would smother you with her affection as well. Oh? Sounds nice. I'd like to meet her someday. Well, she is coming over in a few days, I believe. Oh my, it's meeting the family! Well, the sister. Maybe there will be an opportunity then. Sure. Kagurazaka and I continued to chat while taking glimpses at the passing backdrop of the coast. Dang. Are they really gonna meet up? Are we gonna have, finally, a third character in this story? The train eventually made its stop at the city. Maybe she'll one day be your sister? And yours as well? She'll be everyone's sister? We head off the train and walk out to the station. Tall buildings and bustling streets surround us. So, what's the plan for today? There's so many signs around here. Burin Art Hoa American. This. Downtown Street. This, I don't recognize it. XYZ. Bunch of places. Is that Milky Way? Okay. What plan? You know, what we're going to do besides getting your graphics cards. I didn't really think too much about that. And here I was thinking, I thought we were only going to get those graphics cards and then go back home. Know if those two hit it off and eventually get married, they would be sister-in-laws. Ah, I see, I see. Maybe they will then. Maybe they will. Don't look at me like that. Fine, how about this? We grab what I need, then we can get something to eat, because I'm hungry. Then we'll figure it out from there. Well, that sounds better than no plan at all. Lead the way. See, I told you that we should have gone in separately. Come on, what were the chances that the employee would recognize me? Well, how many other people have such tired eyes? That's a good point. The same thing happened with Mana, no? Seems hard to believe that they would have just gone to an electronics store at a similar time and gotten rejected for the same reason. I mean, no point thinking about it. There's no way that this isn't a coincidence. We each head to the counter to order our food. After chatting a bit, we receive our orders and head to a table in the corner of the restaurant. I watch as Kagurazaka haphazardly tosses multiple fries into her mouth. She chews without any consideration for keeping up an appearance. I laugh to myself at the confirmation that she eats exactly as I would expect her to. You laughing at me? You looking for a fight? I just find it amusing how different you are from the friends I had in high school. Friends. This might come as a shock to you, but I had actual, real-life people as my friends in high school. Shock. Well, I mean, it's expected that he would have had friends at some point in his life. It's just that he currently has no friends. Kagurazaka pretends to be shocked as she widens her eyes and opens her mouth before quickly realizing she still has food in her mouth. She quickly turns her head, embarrassed, and finishes swallowing. I start laughing at the sudden series of events. That's a side of you I haven't seen before. The clumsy side. Shut up. That's my yearly singular mistake that I make. Thank you, come again next year. Sure. But as I was saying, yeah, I used to have a few friends back in high school. It's not like I was super popular or anything, but I had some people that I hung out with often. But they weren't relationships that I was exactly comfortable with. Kagurazaka just looks at me quietly as she chews her food. I'm assuming that means she wants me to keep going? I felt like everybody was trying to keep up appearances and trying to appeal to each other for clout reasons. I would always try to get validation for my own worth by being around people that I saw were popular. Eventually, I just got tired of everything. I just wanted to enjoy the things I'm passionate about without fear of being judged, and being able to talk to people I actually felt comfortable being around. That was my mindset after graduating and going to university. I decided not to go any further. It's already obvious without me spelling it out. I wasn't able to find any of those relationships with real people in my first year of university. And so this guy turned to VTubers. He probably should have made more VTuber friends, honestly, if he really didn't want friends that much. But I guess now he's friends with a VTuber, like actual. Kagurazaka quietly looks at me while she sips her drink. Speaking of which, I haven't really eaten much of my food. I start unwrapping my food as Kagurazaka lowers her drink. I sort of get that. That kind of relationship can be exhausting and make you generally unhappy. I don't typically seek out relationships. I prefer having a few meaningful relationships that I can take comfort in. Even though I haven't been the best of them, I still cherish what friends I've made. Honestly, I still cherish them as well. Kind of. A few of them I do. Not all of it was bad. I think just interacting with people allowed me to form a connection with them, regardless of what ulterior motives there were. I won't say that there wasn't at least a little bit of sincerity in those relationships. Well, that's good. Do you still keep in contact with them? Not really. At first, we would say we would keep in touch even throughout university, but we just ended up drifting apart. As expected. Is there anything stopping you from contacting them again? Well, there's the low-hanging fruit of I don't really want to bother them, and I'm sure they're going through their own life. There's also the inevitability that we will continue to drift apart just because we need a reason to interact now, where one of us has to make that initial step of reaching out. In high school, I would just naturally interact with people because school would bring us to the same location, to work towards a similar goal. Now, if we wanted to interact, we would have to go out of our way to almost initiate that conversation. But the biggest reason is something else. Say, have you ever felt like nobody understands you? It's the nobody understands me line. I have. It's hard to completely explain though. Agreed. It's a mix of a lot of things. People might not go through the same struggles as I do. Some might have different interests. Some might think completely differently, even if they did have similar interests. Some might not understand anything I'm saying. Some might constantly misinterpret me. Some might not be able to relate to any of my problems. I've always, throughout my life, felt that nobody understands me. Kagurazaka just looks at me while she sips her drink. She puts her drink down, not diverting her eyes as she does so. I won't be conceited and say I understand you as a person that well, but I can at least understand what you just said. I honestly feel the same way at times. Isn't that funny? Understanding the feeling of not being understood. I started laughing, almost choking on my drink. That's funny. Honestly, when I talk to you, it doesn't feel completely detached. Not sure if I can say I'm understood, but it feels different. Oh, how flattering. I must be so amazing. Don't get ahead of yourself. Isn't it conceited to want to be understood even though I don't feel like I really understand many other people? Conceited? For sure, but I think it's natural for us to feel that way. We all want to think we're important, and that our views matter. Yeah. I finished the last of my burger and collected my trash onto my tray. So, where to next? What about the aquarium? I haven't been there since I was a kid. Aquarium date? Not to mention, a spontaneous aquarium date? That's so high level! This whole, like, outing is high level. Wow. They're doing such, like, advanced tactics. Going out somewhere without planning what to do next is, like, so advanced. And spontaneously going to an aquarium? That's sort of out of nowhere, but neither have I. Well, it doesn't seem like we have any better ideas. Let's go. Kagurazaka and I make our way through the aquarium's walkway, taking in the scenery of lush sea life and aquamarine water. We remain quiet, appreciating the quiet beauty of these lives that are detached from our own. The setting has changed. The setting has changed so dramatically. We watch as fish warily swims by, staying close to the ground. That fish looks a bit tired. Kind of reminds me of you. Oh yeah? That over there reminds me of you. I glance over the direction where Kagurazaka's pointing, only to be met with the sight of a rock. That's just a rock. Yeah. You know, I'm going to take that as a compliment. Don't tell me otherwise. Kagurazaka smiles as she slows her pace to take a closer look at the scene around her. This is nice. There's a beauty here that I didn't appreciate when I came here as a kid. There's an entirely different world beyond this glass. Every fish here is living their own lives, doing their best, even if it might just be eating and swimming around without a care in the world. Sounds kind of nice, actually. Kagurazaka stops, continuing to observe the fish swimming around us. An entirely different world beyond the glass. That means we can only see the reality that they want to show us. I mean, not quite. They can swim away where we can't see them as well, I guess, but like, you know, it's kind of just glass and water. We can kind of see most of everything that they show us. Show us the Makoto fish game? What's the Makoto fish game? We might never come to understand their happiness or struggles. Struggles beyond the carefree life that they're presenting to us. They might not even want to be seen as carefree or happy. Maybe that's just the identity we're pushing onto them. Kagurazaka just gives a sad smile as she watches the fish swim by. How would we come to understand them if that's true, and they're so far out of reach? Who knows? Maybe it's better if we didn't try to understand them. They might not want their vulnerabilities to be shown to others. Maybe all the others who look up to them might be horrified that the ones they've been following is just as lost and weak as they are. Makoto is clearly not talking about fish at the moment. There's a fish that looks like her. Can you imagine her face pasted on a fish? You know what? I actually can. I mean, yeah. Her face is pretty normal. It could work on a fish. Surely they're not happy like that. They would want at least one person to understand them, right? What if they don't have anybody to turn to for that? I just stand there as Kagurazaka gives me a sad smile. I don't have an answer to her. It's not as simple as to just say, go to someone you trust. Some people might not have that someone in their lives. And even if they did, there's no guarantee that that person will ever come to understand their problems. Kagurazaka turns and continues down the walkway. I follow behind her, once again observing the lives swimming around me that are far out of reach. The sun is starting to go down by the time we exit the aquarium. The orange sky makes for a beautiful backdrop to the still, energetic city. Kagurazaka is silent as we walk. She seems to be thinking to herself again. We should probably head back to the station now. It's starting to get late. Kagurazaka perks up and turns her head towards me. Oh, sure. Kagurazaka is seated next to me, looking out the window. As always, she has this look to her that she always has when she's thinking about something. What are you thinking about? What happened to being able to read my mind? Oh yeah. Okay, you're thinking about life. Being pretty vague, aren't we? Okay, I give up. What if I said I was thinking about you? Well, that depends. Are you thinking positive or negative thoughts about me? Positive and negative are all relative. Okay, that answered my question. Please don't tell me what you're thinking about. Kagurazaka gives a laugh before quickly returning a sad smile. Let's just say all of the above, plus a lot more. Well, I can't say I'm not somewhat flattered that Kagurazaka is thinking at least somewhat about me, even though it might seem apparent from the fact that we basically spent the whole day together. But it's also Kagurazaka, so I have no idea what she could be thinking regarding me. I don't even know why she's spending so much time with me. From what I can tell, she's pretty busy with whatever she does in her personal life. And I don't think I really offer anything to her, but she seems to always be the one to push for us to meet. That is true! Hey, Kagurazaka. How should I phrase this? I can't just ask her why she talks to me. I was just wondering. It seems like you're pretty busy with stuff and have a lot on your mind. Is it okay for you to spend so much time with someone like me? do you mean? Someone like you? I don't know. It doesn't really seem like I can offer you that much. Well, that automatically makes you better than me. Not only do I offer nothing in return, but I also take from people. I'm basically a parasite. I don't get that impression from you. Maybe so, but what if I said I was just associating with you to get something out of you? I don't know enough about you to fully confirm that. But I don't believe that. I don't like to believe that you're that kind of person. You don't know that much about me to know, but you're going to trust me anyway? Are you an idiot? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, so far their interactions have been pretty innocent. There's no taking advantage of each other. Well, other than her taking advantage of him to buy some graphics cards. But that's pretty tame. You aren't even going to deny it? First of all, I don't think you're someone who offers nothing. You should value yourself higher. Yeah, he can value himself about the cost of one graphics card. As for the reason I keep associating with you, Kagurazaka is interrupted by the intercom informing us that we're at our destination. Come with me. I want to show you something. Is this... Oh, okay. I was like, is it time for her to show her identity? But I guess it's the beach. Kagurazaka and I make our way out of the station. I start following her to what seems like the direction of the coast. After a few minutes of walking, we arrive at a beach. Oh, I knew about this place, but I haven't been here too often. It's pretty peaceful at night, especially with most of the other students out of town for the break. This is somewhere I like to go when I want to take a walk at night. Kagurazaka and I walk along the shore, leaving behind footsteps in the sand just short of the incoming water. The night sky is sprinkled with various stars. It kind of reminds me of Mana. As for the answer to your question, there's a lot of different reasons. I actually do think it's fun being with you. But in a lot of ways, I am using you for my own personal benefit. We both got disappointed at the sight of a moonlit beach. Yeah, normally a beach is supposed to be a yay, beach! But I guess not. Interacting with you is an escape for me. For a brief moment in time, I can forget about some of the things that are eating away at me. There's also something that I want to get an answer on, and I don't think I can figure it out myself. Being with you, I think, will help me find that answer. Would it be something I could just answer if you asked me what you're trying to figure out? Nope, it's not something you should know. I'm being unreasonable, aren't I? I don't think it's unreasonable to not share everything about yourself. So you're okay with not knowing if I had any selfish reasons for talking with you? Have you ever thought that I could just be using you to further my own goals? That you'll just end up being hurt? Kagurazaka's making out to be so terrible, but is it honestly that bad? Is it even reasonable to expect people to try to not have any ulterior motives for wanting to interact with someone? And are Kagurazaka's reasons even that bad? If interacting with me could help get her mind away and help her find some answers to her problems, then isn't that a good thing? I can't say that I've really thought about it that much. I don't really know much about you, but I do want you to be able to find your answers. If interacting with me helps with that, then I'm willing to take my chances. I'm not sure how reasonable it is to expect everybody who interacts with me to only do it because they want to be with me. The only thing I can say right now is that I think it's fun talking with you, and I don't think what you're saying could be that bad. You're willing to take those chances even though you don't know anything about me? So, Makoto is being very, very dramatic. What she's saying is essentially what anyone, does when they interact with anyone, right? In a sense, that's how you make friends, right? You interact with someone even if you don't know them, and then you slowly become friends. You don't know why they're interacting with you. I don't know, you're having fun talking about things that you like with each other. In this case, VTubers. You go out to places together. That's just like normal friend stuff. And then she's basically asking, you know, we don't really know each other. Are you sure you're okay with like talking with me? Becoming friends with me? But she's saying it in a really negative way, like, I might be taking advantage of you. But like, that's the case for everyone that you talk to. And at an early stage of friendship, you aren't really... Well, normally you wouldn't really be trusting too much the other person. These two are advancing their friendship really quickly and are talking about like deep topics in like the first few days, but normally you just like hang out, and then if you never see them again, it's like no big deal, you know? Yeah, maybe I'll end up accumulating enough bond levels to understand you. What the heck? Fine, I'll concede for now, but don't come crying to me later when you inevitably get hurt. I'll eagerly be waiting, and I hope that you end up finding your answer. Thanks. I don't really know if this is what I'm looking for. What side did she take on the real self conversation? I think she said that neither the real person or the VTuber person is the real self. She was all like, what if the person behind actually isn't real? But she didn't argue that the person, like, the VTuber persona is the real person. I'm not sure if this current relationship is even right for me or Kagurazaka. But I do know that I want to keep interacting with Kagurazaka. Maybe it doesn't have to be any more complicated than that. Yeah, I don't think it has to be any more complicated than that. You don't have to go all deep about why you're friends. You can just be friends. Since you've been the one reaching out for excuses to hang out, let me be the one this time. Do you want to hang out tomorrow as well? I can already feel the embarrassment. She probably feels embarrassed as well. But if I recall correctly, didn't Mana... Mana has a karaoke stream tomorrow, right? Because this is the day off. And then she has a karaoke stream, and then she's on break until her anniversary. So she might be busy preparing for her karaoke stream tomorrow. Well, we'll see what Makoto says. You didn't even attach an excuse. You just straight up asked me if I wanted to spend time with you. I admire your boldness, but unfortunately I actually have to get some stuff ready tomorrow. Uh-oh. Well, that embarrassing moment ended up being for nothing. But I guess I can spare an hour or two tomorrow. Do you have any experience building computers? Yeah, I built my own. Shouma! Shouma has a skill! He can help! He can actually help! Good. Come over to my place tomorrow. If you help me put the other graphics card in, then it'll save me some work. Eh? Your place? You mean where you live? Okay. If he goes to her place, isn't he gonna find out that she's a streamer? There's some pretty obvious streamer items, I think. At least for someone of her level. She probably has, like, very streamer-specific items. Not to mention her 2-PC setup. What? You think I'm homeless or something? Yes, I mean where I live. Eh? Are you fine with that? Don't make me take back what I said. Are you going to come or not? Yeah, I'll come. Cool. I'll see you tomorrow then. I'll message you my address and when you can come over. I'm going to head back now. Alright, see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow? Is she gonna leave and he's gonna stay at the beach? Are they not gonna go to the station together? Kagurazaka gives me a smile before returning the way we came, retracing the footsteps still imprinted into the sand. I give a sigh as I look out into the ocean. He really is staying at the beach! This is so much harder than just watching a VTuber and relaxing. There are too many things I don't understand. I'm really struggling out here, Yokone. I hope you're happy. Isn't VTubing just webcam, microphone, and software? Well, if they're a big VTuber like Mana seems to be, then she probably has a really fancy mic. She probably has like a stream deck or something, and like her monitor setup's probably got like a main monitor and then a chat monitor, and then she's probably got a mount for her phone, or maybe she even has like a special camera. Yeah. And then, not to mention the 2 PC setup I mentioned earlier, so she would have to have her streaming PC and her gaming PC. I guess that's what the monitors would be for as well. One to track like OBS on the streaming PC and one on the gaming PC. Yeah. I feel like her setup must be pretty intense. I'll give her a piece of my mind whenever she arrives. I can't say it's all that bad though. I guess for now, I'll head back home. I'm not used to walking around this much all day. Does his feet hurt? Not everyone with a 2 PC setup is a VTuber. I mean, with all the hints that she's been dropping, like, oh yeah, you know, VTubers from the creator's side, and like, I like to draw, I like to sing, and all that stuff. Well, Shouma already knows that Kagurazaka is some kind of creator. That's plausible deniability. She probably has Mana merch all over the place too, because, you know, being Mana, she gets sent like at least 1 copy of every merch, probably. Anyways, I arrive at Kagurazaka's home late afternoon the next day. I push the button at the gate to inform Kagurazaka that I'm outside. It doesn't take long for me to hear the front door open. Kagurazaka walks out, hands in her pockets, and opens the gate for me. I would like to see her setup. Hey, you're here early. Were you looking forward to this? I'm only a few minutes early. Most people wouldn't even call that being early. No need to make excuses. I understand. Let's head inside. It's quiet as I walk through Kagurazaka's house. Are your parents not home? I live here alone. My parents live somewhere else. That means we're here alone? So far, I see 3 doors and an upstairs. One person is living alone in here? That's a lot of rooms. Yes. Are you expecting something to happen? No, stop making it weird. That's what I should be saying. Anyway, let's head up to my room. There isn't too much in terms of furniture or decoration on the way to Kagurazaka's room. Well, there is one really obvious one here. Is this a plant? Is this a real plant or a fake plant? Either way, it speaks to some sense of home decor. If it's real, then good job for taking care of it. If it's fake, then wow. The sense to put a fake plant in order to decorate is pretty high in my opinion. I guess she probably spends most of her time in her room. We make our way to the top floor. Kagurazaka leads me to a room at the end of the hall and opens the door. Set up. See? Okay. Oh my gosh, she has an ASMR mic. Who the heck, other than like a VTuber or streamer, uses an ASMR mic? Isn't that a bit obvious now? We've got... Okay, there's the webcam, 2 monitors, like one above the other. That's an interesting choice. You called it. It's... What else is there? There's a rack under here, isn't there? How do I... Here, I can see a bit. There's a rack under here, there's the PC. This seems like, you would hit your knees on that, though. That's a bit uncomfortable, maybe. Hey, is that Hanako? From Toilet Bound Hanako? And this... I'm trying to see if I can recognize them, but this is the only one that really stands out to me. Can't recognize this one. This looks like, I don't know, an idol anime or something. Why is Poppy from Poppy's Playtime here? Wait. Is that this? I've seen thumbnails for Poppy Playtime. I haven't actually watched anyone play it. Then there's a fan, some storage of items, and then the huge water bottle. Okay. I'm just gonna randomly save the game while I'm in the navigation. Oh snap, no, I don't want to quit. There we go. Everything else is very Japanese or Japanese inspired. Yeah, that's the blue thing. Yo, a bunch of Japanese VTubers play Poppy Playtime. Maybe that's why. And on the right side of the screen is pretty normal. Just the bed, and this feels a bit uncomfortable when you're lying on the bed and you want to like put your phone down on top of your bedside table. You have to kind of like crawl up and like bam, toss it at the top. But yeah, it's a nice, fairly organized room. There are various technologies such as game consoles, tablets, sound systems, and a large PC setup. I also see some anime posters as well as some stuffed animals. Thinking about it, this is my first time in a girl's room besides Syoko days, but I don't think this is what should normally be expected. Wow, your room is surprisingly organized. I actually did a lot of cleaning before you got here. It was way messier than this. I don't think my closet can handle any more of my junk. I had to move some of my stuff to another room. Kagurazaka walks over her PCs, already unplugged and detached from the rest of her setup. She cleaned! She picks one of the computers along with the screwdriver and a box containing one of the graphics cards we bought the previous day and places the items in front of me. Here. You know, she should probably turn on the light. You can lose screws really easily in the dark, I think. This is my baby, so you better not break anything. Otherwise, that won't be the only thing leaving this house broken. Fearful for my life, I sit down and pick up the screwdriver and start gently unscrewing the side panel. Kagurazaka laughs as she sees my delicate labor and walks towards her desk to grab the other PC. She places it down beside me and gets started on her own work. I won't keep you here too long. I know you probably want to get home before Mana's karaoke stream. Wait, I completely forgot that was today. Shouma, how could you forget? Even I remembered! Oh? You forgot about a Mana stream. That's surprising. I'm about as surprised as you are. I guess I've been distracted lately. I wonder what's been distracting you. Oh, you know, just recently some girl wants to spend some time with me, so I've been running around to her whims. You sure you aren't making this up? Can't imagine that happening. Yeah, you're right. I must have been hallucinating. You should probably get that checked. Doesn't sound healthy. Well, ignore your unsuccessful gaslighting. Are you excited for her karaoke stream? Yeah, I'm always a fan of karaoke, and the songs that she picks are always great. She has great taste in music. She's praising herself. Agreed. I wonder what she'll be singing today. Probably some Vocaloid songs. Probably. Are you excited for her anniversary stream? I'm expecting it to be the greatest stream ever. I can't wait. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be great. I wonder what kind of stuff she'll be doing. What do you think? Kagurazaka has slowed down her movements. She remains silent, her body moving to the rhythm of her breaths. She seems to be taking deep breaths. Kagurazaka? Oh. Sorry. Are you okay? You seem out of breath. It's nothing. Kagurazaka had slowed down her hand movements to a halt. She doesn't seem to be paying attention to the task at hand anymore. She continues to take slow, deep breaths. Are you sure? You don't seem fine. It's okay. You don't have to worry about me. It's this again. The dance of showing and restraining concern for each other. Normally, I'd try to respect her wishes, but this doesn't seem like a situation where I should just ignore what's going on. Here, let me finish that for you. I'm just about finished with this computer anyway. You should get yourself a glass of water or something. Thanks. Kagurazaka gets up and exits the room. Boy, it sure is quiet without any music. I wonder what that was. Does she have problems with anxiety? I only mentioned Mana's upcoming anniversary stream. Maybe that's somehow related? Kagurazaka enters the room again with a glass of water in hand. She makes her way to her chair and sits down. Sorry about that. I can take over now if you want. That's okay. Almost done here. After feeling the click of the motherboard mount after pushing the graphics card in, I start screwing the card into place. Kagurazaka sits quietly in her chair, watching me work. Did I say something I shouldn't have said? No, it wasn't your fault. It's just something I've been feeling anxious about. I'll manage. Is it anything I can help with? Well, technically you're already helping with it. Yeah, I'm kind of worried, honestly, about the fact that they're updating her PC at, like, evening time when she has a karaoke the same day. She'll have to, like, make sure her settings are all ready before the stream. Both by being here and by doing that work. So thanks. And also thanks for the concern, but it really isn't something worth worrying about. I'm not entirely convinced. I finished screwing the side panel back onto the PC. Hey, if there's anything you're going through that even I can help with, don't feel bad about asking me. Don't think of it as being a parasite or me showing unnecessary concern. Just think of it as continued repayment for the debt I owe you. Or that postcard. Kagurazaka just stares at me blankly. Okay, yeah, that wasn't the most convincing for me, I'll admit. But I can't think of any other way to try and help you without making you feel like you're just taking from me. But to be honest, that postcard is really valuable, right? That postcard is worth it. Kagurazaka stares at me for another few seconds and then starts laughing. What was that? That wasn't convincing at all. But thanks. I hope that one day I'll become someone worthy of your concern. I'm trying to think if I ever saw a karaoke where the streamer was accidentally muted. Definitely, I've seen them muted at the start, but then the chat says, you know, muted, muted, and then they realize. Not for the whole stream, though. But for the start, yeah, definitely. Kagurazaka walks over to me and picks up the PC in front of me. She takes it back to her desk and starts plugging in her peripherals. By the way, is this your first time in a girl's room? Of course not. Family members don't count. By the way, is this the first time you've let a guy into your room? Don't redirect the question back at me. Fine. It is. Oh, I see. What about your answer? What answer? You know exactly what answer. I asked if this is the first time you've let a guy in your room. Oh, that. I'm not obligated to answer. What? But I answered your question. What are you, 12? We aren't taking turns here. I can choose to answer what I want. I'm going to take your reluctance to answer as a yes. Baseless assumptions only walk a path of ignorance. Hey, a path of ignorance doesn't sound too bad. Staying within the comfort of your own bubble and not having to deal with the pains that exist outside the world. Sign me up. Isn't that just taking the easy way out? It is. You might never know what could have been, but you avoid getting hurt. You don't have to deal with uncertainties, anxieties, and other hardships of taking a step outside. Don't you feel that way sometimes? That you would rather take the easy way out? All the time. But I'm not the type of person to stay content with that fate. Not when I know there's something out there that I want. Would you really be okay with staying ignorant when you know that, deep inside, that isn't what you're truly looking for? To stay withdrawn and avoid taking any steps forward because I'm afraid of getting hurt is just something I wouldn't be able to settle for. I know that it's the easy way out to just stay withdrawn within your own world. I'm inclined to say that it's not even cowardly to do that. It might even be the most logical thing to do. But I refuse to resign myself to such a miserable fate. I'm going to take a hold of that opportunity and try to find what I'm looking for, even if it means getting hurt. Even if it means that I might not even find what I'm looking for. That's a very respectable point of view. I think I'm still... What's the word they used? I think I am still... Where is it? I'm still walking that path of ignorance right now. Because I think there are definitely things that I could do to, expand my audience. But I'm just sticking with playing the games that I like, streaming at the schedule that I like, and definitely just keeping to myself and not really interacting with others. So I'm still remaining stagnant. But I figure, I don't know, keeping streaming like this, even when it's simple, is not completely stagnant. That's what I'd like to believe, at least. Like, I'm moving forward very, very slowly, like at a snail's pace. Because to me, remaining stagnant is akin to accepting the hand that was dealt to you and never fighting back. It's like this was the fate that I was assigned, and that I should just accept it. But I'm the one who determines my own fate. You really are amazing, Kagurazaka. Huh? I'm really not. I don't think I would ever have the strength to take that step forward myself. I'm just the type of person to have others do it for me, even though I know it's something I have to accomplish with my own strength. That's why I think you're amazing. I'm really not the person you think I am. Even though I just gave that whole spiel about determining my own fate, reality is a whole different beast. But I'll still accept your compliment. Consider that to be the +1 bond level with me. Is that still out of 1,000? Well, progress is progress. Yep, you're at bond level 7 now. Wait, that's lower than before! I can't help but laugh with Kagurazaka. It really is weird how I'm not nervous in this situation. I'm with Kagurazaka in her own room, not to mention we're both at college. This isn't what I would imagine how that scenario would typically go. I probably shouldn't be thinking like that. I'm going to start having weird expectations. But what guy wouldn't have those kind of thoughts in this situation? Okay, now I'm starting to make myself nervous. Yeah, Shouma, remember, Mana's gonna have a karaoke stream! That's what you want to look forward to. I feel like this stream kind of breaks the idea of being stagnant even if it's not directed at you. Like the contents of the stream, like the game itself. I feel like that's kind of the message that they're going for. That it's better to not be stagnant. Stop me. Clear your mind of any impure thoughts. You are a clear mirror that reflects still waters. Yeah, the game itself? Yeah. I look over at Kagurazaka and catch her staring at me with a smile. Our eyes meet and it feels like the world stops for a moment. It's very, forward-driven, I guess, because of, well, having Mana being the VTuber character in this story. And she's, like, really driven. And that's kind of, that's kind of the image we have of some popular ones. You haven't asked yourself any questions about why? About why what? Our eyes meet and it feels like the world stops for a moment. Maybe it was because of the mood, but Kagurazaka turns her head away, not letting me catch a glimpse of her expression. I also turned my head away in an embarrassment. Clear mirror, still water. Clear mirror, still water. Gah! My heart is beating too fast right now. Damn it, stop being endearing, Kagurazaka. Why did you have to be cute there? Now it's awkward. I could only hear the beating of my heart in the silence that followed. I glance over at Kagurazaka to see that she's still looking away. Suddenly, her head perks up. Wait, what time is it? Anything real? Self-escapism? Self-worth? I've talked about, like, bits and pieces. I haven't gone on, like, super long tangents, though. Kagurazaka picks up her phone to look at the time. Shoot, it's almost time for Mana's stream. You should probably get going. Honestly, I don't mind missing out on it. I could always look back at the VOD. Eh? Kagurazaka looks at me, just as surprised as I am at what I said. Wait, why did I just say that? I'm basically telling her that I want to stay here. And what's gone into me? I usually would never miss out on Mana's stream. Yeah, it's a karaoke stream at that. Am I really deciding to stay here with Kagurazaka over missing out on Mana's last stream before her anniversary? I'm flattered that you want to stay with me that badly, but I have some obligations, so you're going to have to go home for today. Oh, alright. Don't be too disappointed. I'll message you later tonight. Now get going. You can make it home before the stream starts. Yeah, I think I'll be able to make it. Thanks for having me over today. I'll talk to you later. Bye. I navigate my way out of Kagurazaka's house and find that it's already becoming dark outside. I did not do a good job at hiding my disappointment, did I? She's probably going to hold that over me later by teasing me. I glance at the window of Kagurazaka's room on the second floor before releasing a big sigh. I start walking back home, thinking back on the events today. sounds of insects and distant cars fill the air as I arrive at the door to my apartment. Alright, well I'll probably stop once he gets back home. Just in time for Mana's stream to start. I reach into my pockets to pull out my keys, only to feel the softness of fabric. I'll end the stream when he comes back home. He lost his keys! I checked my other pockets on the off chance that I had decided to put my keys in a different location. Wait a moment, he's gonna go back to Kagurazaka's house! He's gonna ring the doorbell! But she's gonna be streaming! No! Did I really leave the keys to my apartment in Kagurazaka's place? Gah, I was too distracted by what was happened toward the end, and I was too distracted by what happened towards the end, and I was in a bit of a rush to get back so I wouldn't miss Mana's stream. I don't think I really have a choice at this point. I'll have to walk back to Kagurazaka's place and watch Mana's stream on my phone in the meantime. I give another big sigh before heading back the direction I came. What am I even doing? It's not ideal, but tuning in through my phone will have to do. That being said, she's taking a bit to transition from her intro screen. Mana! It's your shining star in the night, Mana Orion! Sorry about the delay. I got occupied by something and didn't have that much time to prepare. You guys probably don't mind, though. Not like you have anything better to do with your time. Let's just get started. I feel like singing my heart out tonight. First up, we got one of my favorites. The sounds of the powerful electric instrumental fill the air around me. Oh? This is one of Mana's favorite Vocaloid songs. I guess Kagurazaka was right. Mana's voice enters with a soft and steady tone. The lyrics are about wanting to become someone like you, while at the same time wanting to become someone that feels very me. Isn't that contradictory? I guess if the you is referring to someone that's also myself. I guess even the song asks, but then would that really be me? It sort of reminds me of my conversation with Kagurazaka. Alright, is this the conversation you want, Bucky? Because I also like that kind of thing. Mana builds a steady crescendo as the song approaches the chorus, her voice in perfect harmony with the feelings of resignation in the song. So, to be completely random, I guess, pulling from a random source, but I really like Chihayafuru, Taichi's character. One of the things that he said at one point was that he really wanted to become someone better, but he was too attached to himself. I should be careful what I ask for. Well, it's because this guy forgot his keys. If he didn't forget his keys, he would be back home and I'd be like, alright, we're back home, time to call it night. But he forgot his keys, so we're still going. So anyway. Yeah, the theme, the argument is that, you know, I guess it's a common thing in a lot of stories about wanting to become a better person, wanting to become a better version of yourself. The character in those cases, you know, they want to change. They feel like their current self is inadequate. And maybe they have someone that they look up to, that they want to be more like. And they really want to become better, but what's holding them back is the fact that they like who they are right now. Like, they want to become a better person, but they don't want to throw away their current identity. Because after all, like, your own identity is something that you build up since you're a child, right? And it's like your sense of self. And you tie your self-worth to your your identity, your sense of identity. So if you want to self-improve, become a better version of yourself, become like someone else, it feels almost like you're denying the self that you've built up throughout like your whole life. And that's the kind of topic, I guess. identities are thrown away on the internet. Yeah, well, in the sense of like an identity that other people see you as, those can be thrown away easily. You know, if I delete this account, then like that's one identity gone. But I'm talking about like intrinsic sense of self. It might be easy for some people to throw away their sense of self. Maybe there are people who aren't as attached to who they are, or like the connections that they build with their sense of self, but I think it's a generally difficult thing to do. So it's interesting to see stories where people need to improve themselves while also holding on to what makes themselves unique. And that's kind of what's happening with Kagurazaka and Mana. She wants to be like Mana, but I think she's trying also to like be validated that who she is as Kagurazaka is also like, you know, something worth keeping. That it's not like she put all of the good values on Mana and all the bad values in Kagurazaka. I am a slave to my past, I can't change that. I think that's the case for most people. Alright, so that's your tangent, Bucky. Let's keep going. As Mana delivers the chorus, I can feel my phone lightly reverberate from the power of Mana's voice. Wait, this guy's not putting this on speaker, right? Why would your phone reverberate? He's using headphones or earphones, right? The sounds of powerful electric instrumental fill the air around me. This is sounding suspiciously like he's using speakers. That's gotta take some guts. I mean, I guess he did forget his keys at Kagurazaka's place, so maybe he didn't bring earphones along with him? Wow. Speakers. Speakers with VTubers in the middle of the street. The lyrics are about how the way that one is, they're better off dead. Where they wish that the world was so that everybody hated them and rejoiced if they were to disappear. Huh. This kind of story. That way, all their reasons for wanting to say goodbye would go away. The song itself sounds really pleasing to the ear, but the lyrics are nothing short of harrowing. That's something that happens often with Vocaloid songs. I wonder how much of the meaning of this song plays into this being one of Mana's favorites. But this song isn't necessarily without any hope either. The one that these lyrics are directed towards is someone that is able to smile at the singer's existence. Because of that, the singer cannot bring themselves to disappear. Does having just one person make that much of a difference? I continue to walk down the path to Kagurazaka's place. Well, Bucky, you are probably that one person, along with a few others, like Sammy comes in pretty often. I start to see Kagurazaka's house in the distance. It's faint, but I can see that some lights are still on. She must still be up. I guess I'll give her a call. A call? I hope she has Do Not Disturb on. Well, you know, stream interruption time. I pause Mana's stream while she's still singing. Guess I can afford to miss a little bit of the song. I call Kagurazaka's number and put my phone to my ear. I hear my phone ring twice before being sent to voicemail. It only rang twice? Did she reject the call? Guess I'll try ringing the doorbell once I'm there. I pull up Mana's stream again to see that I hadn't missed too much of the song. After a few seconds, I hear the sound of a phone ringing. It's coming from Mana's stream. Mana's voice wavers and she starts going into a mini panic mode. Well, she did not have Do Not Disturb on. I can hear the sounds of Mana picking her phone up from the desk. The sound of the phone is silenced after 2 rings. Sorry, I forgot to mute my phone before the stream. It's nothing important. Sorry, I'll start the song over. I'm frozen in place as Mana starts the song over again. That was just a coincidence, right? But what are the odds that the events are exactly the same and that the timing is almost perfectly aligned with the stream? There's no way. I'll try calling Kagurazaka one more time. I call Kagurazaka once again to hear a continuous ringing. No response. The prompt to leave a voicemail is the only thing I hear. Well, I guess she turned silent after. Maybe Kagurazaka is just asleep and that's why she's not answering. But why did it only ring twice before? And now it's ringing all the way to voicemail after Mana said she muted her phone? I swallow and take a deep breath before making my way closer to Kagurazaka's house. I reach the gate of her house with my phone still in my hand. Mana is currently chatting in between songs. I reach my finger for the doorbell, but hesitate to press it. I'm unsure if this is what I should be doing. The desire to confirm my suspicions is so strong that I'm fighting every existing belief I have that this knowledge should be kept secret. Yeah, I feel like this is something you should wait for the end of the stream to do. No, there's no possible way. They're completely different people, and I have to get my keys or else I won't be able to go back. I really am stupid for thinking this. Let's just press it. I finally gathered the strength to push the doorbell. I can see my hand shaking. Mana continues to talk like normal. Each second that passes feels like an eternity. I concentrate on every word that is spoken through my phone. 5 seconds pass. 6. 7. I hear the faint sound of a doorbell, and I see Mana's model perk up. Sorry for the interruptions, guys. I'll be back. Don't blow everything up while I'm gone. I can feel my heart racing as I swallow. My eyes are locked on the front door of Kagurazaka's house. After what feels like an eternity, I hear the sounds of the door being unlocked. Kagurazaka walks out, her typical casual mannerisms showing out as she approaches. She opens her mouth and what comes out is that familiar tired voice. You figured it out, yeah! Hey, I saw that you called and now I see that you're standing outside my house again. Didn't I say I was busy? Did you miss me Kagurazaka stops before the gate and pauses after seeing the expression on my face. I don't even know what expression I was showing. Was it shock? Happiness? Anger? Excitement? Disappointment? All of the above? What's with that expression? Is something wrong? Are you... Mana? What? Kagurazaka stops after realizing that Mana's usual background music is playing faintly from my phone. Time freezes and the only sound that can be heard is the sound of Mana's BGM. It takes Kagurazaka what feels like minutes to come to a realization. Her expression immediately changes. Her eyes widen and she starts breathing heavily. Hey, it's not... I can hear the deep breaths that Kagurazaka has to take in between her words. I'm unable to form my own words to say. Kagurazaka knows that there isn't a way to get out of this situation. If she's to return, the timing would just further confirm my suspicions. If she's to stay here, then that would end up doing the same. I can see the terror and confusion in her expression. The surge of thoughts and emotions rushing through my mind is overpowering any decision to say anything to alleviate the situation. I need to say something. Anything. I, left my keys in your room, I think. Oh, well, let me get them real quick. Kagurazaka walks quickly back into her house, her steps erratic. Minutes pass as I stand outside. Suddenly, I hear the voice of Mana. Hey guys, I'm really sorry. But something important just came up. I'm going to have to end the stream here. It's nothing bad, I promise. I'll see everybody at my anniversary stream. Oyasu Mana! The stream immediately ends without transitioning to Mana's outro. Her voice was shaky and out of breath. The realization hits me that this is actually the same voice as the one I've been hearing that has little to no life to it. After a few minutes, Kagurazaka comes out with my keys in hand. Here. Thanks. She hands me the keys and then we both stand in silence, not making eye contact. Kagurazaka is the first to break the silence. You know, don't you? What even are my options here? It's obvious to both of us at this point. Playing dumb might just make her angry. Yeah. Give me some time to process this. I'll message you tomorrow night. Okay, and I won't tell anyone. Have more faith in my trust. I know you're not the type of person to try and spread it. Please, don't reach out to me until I message you. I need some time to myself. Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow then. Night. I watch as Kagurazaka turns and walks back into her house. I just stand in place, even after the door has shut behind her. I don't know what happened after that. The next thing I knew, I was in my room, staring at my ceiling. I was unaware of anything happening around me. There was only one thing I could focus on. Kagurazaka. We're in his room, but we're still in front of her house. Okay. This is the stopping point. Okay, I think here's my guess is that I should be able to finish this in one more stream, so I'll stream it again next week. Cause I think the estimated time was like 6 to 5 hours to complete, but I'm also reading it and like talking in between, so I think I've already spent like almost 5 to 6 hours. Technically I should be done, but because of the whole reading out loud and talking in between, it's a bit longer. But it shouldn't be so much longer that it's gonna take another stream. So, one last stream is probably gonna do it. After all, it does feel like this is like the climax part. Like he kind of ruined her stream there. So after this, they just gotta like make up and like figure out what the heck is gonna happen to their relationship, I guess. And what the heck is gonna happen in that anniversary stream. So next week, I'm gonna guess that his sister is gonna come visit and meet up with, wait, will they still meet up? They probably will. So all three of them will interact with each other, we'll figure out that anniversary stream, and then bam, ending. There's my guess, my prediction. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching and chatting, and see you next week. Goodbye!